Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, little outdated TNA Impact review. Was gonna do this yesterday there, not that anybody gives a flying fuck or whatever there, but was gonna do this last night. But when I watched it, it just fucking sucked the life right out of me completely. I was in no condition to make a video after watching that there. It's like in Mortal Kombat, like if Shang Tsung just showed up and sucked the life right out of me. I was all like, almost felt like I was drunk, but I wasn't, you know what I mean? It's just so horrible. And like it's cheap. That's what it looks like. It's very, very low budget and cheap, you know. Like TNA back in the day, it was always lame. It was always cheap. But at least back in the day, you had names on the show. You had more people in the crowd, more excitement. Now it just looks like fucking trash, straight up. Just indie trash. Honestly, I feel like I shouldn't even review this. It's like watching a fucking indie federation that nobody knows and then reviewing it. It's all names that you wouldn't know who I'm talking about. There's no point of even talking about it. You know what I mean? That's what TNA's become. You know? Low budget. Very low budget, you know? They wanted to change their identity. I get this there, but it just looks like TNA on life support. It looks like an indie low-budget federation. That's what it's become. Plus, they're paying the fans to be there. So the fans, you know watching it that it's not even real fans. It's like, if they're fucking paying these people to go there and watch it, why the fuck am I watching this? It's so terrible they have to pay people to pretend to like it. That's how sad it is. And they kept the GFW look. Pretty much it's the TNA look, but with green ropes, and it just looks really cheap is what it looks like, you know? First match, Laurel Van Ness defeated Madison Rayne and KC Spinelli. Who the fuck is KC Spinelli? Nobody knows. Who the fuck knows? Just some girl that they threw on there. This is a tournament for the women's title. They only have 6 women in it, so they did like for the cruiserweight shit in WWE there. 3 against 3. The winner of each match is gonna face off. They don't even have enough women to do a real 3-on-3 thing there, so they just threw in this KC Spinelli jobber girl in there so they could have a triple threat match. How many women do they have in TNA? They're under contract, like 3-4 of them at this point. You know, they used to have a good knockouts division back in the day with Awesome Kong and Velvet Sky, the Beautiful People, shit like this. The women's division was the best part of TNA. It was actually entertaining back then, the women, you know. But now it's fucking straight up on life support, you know. And this match was just low quality, a few minutes, a low quality match. I like Laurel Van Ness, mostly because she has a good body or whatever. She's not really good in the ring, boy, but she's hot a bit or whatever. So I kind of like her a little bit. Apparently she asked to be released from TNA. So hopefully she can get the fuck out and go to NXT or something like this there. But Laurel Van Ness wins the first match. Since she's asking for her release, I doubt she's going to win the belt, obviously there. Second match, Taiji Ishimori defeated Akeem Zayn. You know, these are the names now there. Names that you can't pronounce. It's not Sami Zayn, it's Akeem Zayn. You know, apparently this guy won something called Global Forged. You know, forged, that word, it's like a rip-off, eh? You ripped somebody off, you forged documents, something like this. And that's the name of their contest, Global Forged. You forged that you're a wrestler, they're pretending to be a wrestler. But, you know, how am I supposed to talk to people, eh? Did you see the big match last night? Akeem Zayn, fuck, man. Who's that? Oh, fuck, I don't know. Fuck. He's like this tall there, a skinny guy with nothing, with absolutely nothing. It's Akeem. Fuck, he won Global Forge. What's that? I don't know. Nobody knows. Fuck. You know, fucking shit. So this Taiji Ishimori guy, apparently he won some junior heavyweight titles in Pro Wrestling Noah. So apparently it's a big deal, but Pro Wrestling Noah, it's not big like New Japan. It's, you know, it looks pretty small, the crowd, shit like this, so it's not really a big deal. The match lasts about 3 minutes. He wins with a 450 splash. You know, TNA fans, they're gonna say it's awesome or whatever, it's okay for what it is, which is a 3-minute match with a 450 splash that we see all the fucking time there. You know, every midget comes along with a 450 splash. Are we supposed to say that it's awesome every time there? Like, because it's not, you know, there's absolutely nothing here. Hey, Taiji Ishimori did a splash that everybody else does there. This is the best. Third match, Sami Callihan, the guy that appeared at Bound for Glory. Nobody knew who the fuck he was. He defeated Randy Myers. Who's Randy Myers? Fuck knows. A guy who looked like a complete jobber. Another skinny guy wearing a t-shirt because he has zero muscle or nothing. Blue hair, kind of looked like a punk rock guy of some sort. And this match took place not at the Impact taping. This was from Defy Wrestling. Apparently Defy Wrestling is going to be on their network. And apparently Defy Wrestling is the biggest wrestling in Washington State. It looked like they were wrestling in my living room there. That was the size of the place. It was dark, shady looking, you know what I'm saying? So they just took a match from some rinky-dink jobber fucking indie fed, not a big indie fed, a tiny one, jobber one. They take this and stick it on Impact. And it looked like fucking shit there, straight up. It looked like shit. The match wasn't even good, you know? And he's fighting this loser with blue hair, skinny, like I said, that looked like complete trash there. Why they would put this on their well, it's because they're going on their network there, but really you shouldn't do this. You know, like McMahon isn't gonna fucking show a match in the fucking gym to his fucking viewers. This is our programming, a match in the fucking gym there. Just looked fucking horrible. Fourth match, James Storm defeated Tayano. The name, it's written Texano, which pretty much just means Texan in Spanish, I guess. But they were calling him Tayano. And it was a Mexican guy dressed up like a cowboy. So James Storm going up against a Mexican cowboy, you know. The fuck is that? What is this, man? Tayano! You know, basically the name is Texan, is what it means, most likely there. Just a Mexican jobber called Texan, dressed up like a cowboy. Can't they do anything better than this, really, there? Like, there's all kind of guys that are fucking popular in the indies, they're popular with the indie crowd or whatever. Can't TNA get guys like this there? Like American indie wrestlers that are semi-popular, can't they grab guys like this there? Or go and get a couple guys from the UK that people like or whatever? Why is it just Mexican jobbers? What is this? How are the fans supposed to get into this? A Mexican dressed like a cowboy. Texano, and you have to call him Tayano or whatever. Hey, you see the big Tayano match last night there? Oh, you know, how do I talk to people about this there? And after the match, Bobby Lashley and his buddies, American Top Team, they showed up. They attacked James Storm or whatever. Apparently there's going to be a match next week that I'm most likely not going to watch there. And I can't blame James Storm for leaving after this there. You know, wrestling against a Mexican guy with a cowboy hat, the match isn't even good. What is this? Where are they going with this there? You know, how can they succeed with this? They bring in a Mexican cowboy, 2-3 shows, then he's gone. How do you get invested into wrestlers? You got maybe 10 real TNA wrestlers that are there. The rest is just guys that show up for 2 weeks and then they disappear. How are you supposed to like these wrestlers that just vanish? They show up for 2 weeks, they vanish completely. You know? Like Andre Corbell makes a vid a few weeks ago. Hey guys, Akeem Zane coming to TNA. This is a big deal. But it's not a big deal. You know, Akeem Zane's fucking jobber guy there. This tall, skinny, nobody knows him. He's not gonna accomplish shit. A guy like this. You know, how do you care about this there? Hey guys, I'm gonna fucking start to get into this Akeem Zane feller there. I'm gonna buy his t-shirt or something there. It's gonna be just a plain white shirt. It's Akeem Zane written in marker or something there. How do you get into this? You can't. This is just trash at this point. Matt Sydal defeats Tyson Dukes or Ducks, whatever. This guy, they just brought him at Bound for Glory out of nowhere. Tyson Dukes, he's like a local Canadian wrestler. But nobody gives a fuck, I mean, honestly. You know, Matt Sydal, Evan Bourne, nobody cares about this guy at this point. And the match isn't even good, like. You know, can't you do James Storm against Matt Sydal, have a match that looks competitive a little bit there? Like every match is jobbers. Casey Spinelli in the first match, nobody has ever heard this. Akeem Zayn against Taiji Ishimori. Third match, Sami Callihan against Randy Meyer. It's not even the TNA match. Fourth match, you have Tayano. Fifth match, Tyson Dukes. What? This isn't TNA. This is indie horse shit is what it is. And it's not even good indie wrestlers. They could at least try to get real indie wrestlers that people know or something. Guys that have a little bit of charisma that you can like or talk about. How do I get into Tayano or Tyson Duke, Tyson Dick there? I can't get into this. In the main event, two names that people know there, but they're washed up. Their sixth match, Johnny Impact defeats Alberto Del Rio. This was presented as a grudge match. According to some TNA fans, this match was amazing. It was great. It was a basic match, you know what I mean? Nothing good in it, really. It's not a horrible match, but at this point, I'm just fucking dead watching it. Almost needed to be placed on life support while I was watching this shit. There was a horrible spot there. They put the steel steps on Morrison. Del Rio jumps on it like fucking Super Mario. When Alberto landed on it, he did something. And his ass, the way that he landed, you can see this on Twitter, the little GIFs there. Somebody sent me the GIF. My man Ringmaster Mike sent this to me on Twitter. So it's out there if you want to watch. Probably you don't there. He lands his ass right on the edge of the steel step. So just a horrible looking move there. Morrison was all fucking scraped on his ribs and shit. People might think, oh, it's cool, he hurt himself, but it's not really cool when it's supposed to be fake. So just a horrible fucking cheap move there. Morrison gets hurt. Del Rio lands his asshole there right in the fucking bam, right on the edge of the fucking steps. It's just embarrassing. Eli Drake comes in to distract Del Rio. Morrison gets the win. It just looked really cheap. It looks good compared to the other matches because it's two names that you know, but the match itself isn't really good. The distraction shit, there's nothing good there. And then you get Petey Williams that gets involved at the end there. You know, they're putting Petey Williams in the shows because they're recording this shit in Canada. So I guess in their heads it's meant to excite the crowd. But really, the people are being paid to be there, so they don't really give a shit whether it's fucking Petey Williams or Texano that shows up at the end. They're not going to give a fuck. They're paid to be there. They don't even like wrestling. The people in the crowd. You know, plus Petey Williams is probably going to be gone in 2 weeks, so don't get too attached to him, which you're not gonna get attached to him to begin with there, but just cheap. Just really cheap. It's not a horrible show. It wasn't a terrible show. But it's just so cheap. It's so indie. It's just there's like no point to watch it anymore. Like before, we could watch a pay-per-view and, you know, if you didn't like it, you could review it, get the TNA fans pissed off or whatever the fuck. So you had a point to watch. You'd have at least a few stars on the show, like Angle and Sting and Jeff Hardy, and at least you had one or two segments that you could watch, you know. You could watch the knockouts, stuff like this. But now there's fuck all. Fuck all. And even the names that I mentioned here, James Storm is gone. You know, Laurel Van Ness leaving, and there's more wrestlers that are gonna leave. And this is just to show you how cheap it is there. Eli Drake, he does a backstage interview there. I guess they're in the back of the building where they were filming this trash there. And you can tell that there's people working in the back there. Okay, there's big bangs, bang, and you have Eli Drake trying to cut an interview backstage. Bang! He's like, "Hey guys, I'm Eli Drake, champion of bang!" And you see him looking off camera because he's distracted by the big bangs. And he's talking like a minute interview. During the minute-long little segment, you hear a bunch of big bangs right next to him there. You know, and you can clearly see he's distracted by these big bangs. It's fucking up his little promo big time. I got the boom, bang! Bang! It's like so horrible. Couldn't they, like, you know, at least wait when there's no loud bangs in the back to shoot a little segment? You know, it's just horrible. Completely fucking horrible, I swear, man. Like, at this point, Ring of Honor, it looks way bigger than TNA. You know, at least Ring of Honor, they have wrestlers there under contract. You know, WWE took away a bunch of their wrestlers, but they still have wrestlers there that Ring of Honor fans like. You know, they have Cody Rhodes and the Bullet Club. I don't like them, but some people do. At least you have names. In Ring of Honor, you have fans that actually pay to go watch it, not the other way around there. So TNA, even Ring of Honor looks like fucking WWE compared to TNA at this point. It's shit. It looks very low budget. It is low budget. You have nobody left on this roster hardly. It's a complete joke at this point, and it's dead. It really is. You know, TNA fans, you gotta be pretty fucking delusional at this point there if you're gonna say that TNA is doing good, because clearly it isn't. Clearly it isn't there. But hey, to each his own, I guess. You got retards out there that'll think it's great there, but it really isn't. At this point, it's not even worth watching. I almost feel bad making fun of it, because at this point, it's too easy. Honestly, there, it's a shit show. It's Indie City. I used to say this all the time. Oh, it's a glorified indie fed and different things like this. Now it really, really is an indie fed. It looks indie. It's indie bum wrestlers there. And when I mean indie, I mean like low quality indie. Not even a big indie fed. It's shit. It's pure fucking shit, man. Straight up. Until next time. Peace.